guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel, or to my channel if you're new here. I hope you guys stay. So for today's video, I am going to be telling you guys about how the government is watching me. Now, when I say the government is watching me, I don't specifically mean me, I mean all of us. I know this sounds crazy and I know this sounds absurd, but I feel like I have concrete, substantial proof to back this up, and I'm gonna explain that all in the video. So if you guys want to hear about that, definitely keep watching. But really quickly before we start, make sure you guys pretty please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. So let's just start from the beginning, from when I got my iPhone. So I had the iPhone 5C about coming up to 2 years ago, and I got an iPhone 6S a year ago. When I got my iPhone 6S, I went to the store and I had my iPhone 5C and I wanted them to download my contacts and such onto my iPhone 6S so I didn't lose everything. Normally they like plug the phones in and do some computer stuff and download everything onto your phone, but the man that was giving me my iPhone 6S made me download this app on my iPhone 5C and download the app on my iPhone 6S, and like you had to type in these numbers and do this stuff, and like suddenly all of my pictures and my contacts appeared on my iPhone 6S. It was really weird to me that they could do that because it just seemed so simple through this simple app. Like the steps to do it were just so easy. It made me feel like anybody could just easily hack into anybody's phone and get this information. So I got all my pictures, I got all my contacts, and I was like, all right, this probably has something to do with like your iTunes account, whatever. I'm not really concerned about it. I have all my pictures, so I'm happy. But then I went into my contacts, and my contacts were not just my contacts that were in my iPhone 5C, but also my sister's contacts and my father's contacts. Yes, me and my sister share an iTunes account. Yes, my dad, I believe, is hooked up to that iTunes account but doesn't use it. So I'm just assuming that all the contacts went on there because iTunes, yada yada, whatever. It's not that weird. Okay, so I have my pictures on my phone, everybody's contacts. I'm deleting everybody else's contacts that weren't mine. All the contacts that were mine on my phone had changed to the names that my sister had put them in on her phone. And anytime I would change them back to what I had them in on my phone, it would also change on my sister's phone. So this was a very, very, very frustrating process, but nevertheless, it somehow fixed itself. Like, I didn't really have to do anything to fix it, it just kind of resolved itself. It was weird. But so after that, I always kind of felt a little bit weird about my phone. Like, it worked fine, but I always kind of felt weird when I would have to like add a contact or change a contact. I always thought like, oh no, is it gonna like add to my sister's phone? Is it gonna change on my sister's phone? Is it gonna delete off my sister's phone? Whatever. But nevertheless, I didn't really hear anything about it. My sister never said anything about it, so I assumed it was fine and it was resolved. As the months start going by, me and my sister start noticing that our phones are kind of one phone. I know this sounds super, super strange, but anytime somebody would try to call me, it would go to my sister's phone. Anytime somebody would try to call my sister, it would go to my phone. If people called my sister and she answered, it would say I had a missed call from that person. If people called me and I answered, it would say she had a missed call from that person. Sometimes I would get voicemails that were meant for her. She would get voicemails that were meant for me. It was this huge, weird, very annoying mess. And I know what you guys are probably thinking, like, it's probably in your settings that you have like the iTunes linked or the phones linked, the numbers like linked, whatever. Me and my sister went through all of that. None of that was linked, because there have been times where all of a sudden my sister will start getting my text messages and I'll start getting hers, and it's very annoying. So we always have to go into the messages, unclick each other's numbers so that it doesn't say like you can send it to both numbers and receive on both numbers. But it was nothing like that. You couldn't send or receive text on both phones or phone calls or anything. So that was very annoying. And this went on for like months and months and months, but it started becoming less and less. And now it doesn't happen as much. But if I get a phone call, sometimes I won't get the call, and then a day later, a voicemail will pop up from a call that I never got. So I'm assuming it goes to my sister's phone. Very annoying circumstances. Also, my friends have said that if my sister will call their phones, my number will pop up. That's weird. So the reason I'm saying all this, like, this story doesn't even really have to do with my phone, but this is when I started thinking that, like, okay, like, it's very easy to hack people's phones. This is kind of weird. Like, I feel like people are hacking into my phone and I'm not the only one who can see the information on my phone. Now, going back a few months, I was making some YouTube videos and my computer, I have a MacBook Pro, like the oldest dinosaur MacBook Pro, and I got it for my 16th birthday 3 years ago, and the storage became full on my Mac. So I didn't even have a lot of pictures and or videos on that computer, but I started deleting a bunch of videos that I didn't need, like, you know, clearing out my MacBook so that I could have more space. However, as I'm deleting all these videos, pictures, not enough space was being created. And it was weird because I felt like I was deleting a lot. Like, I would delete, like, say 12 videos and I still couldn't upload one 6-minute video. It was very weird and it was very annoying. So I went online and I looked up how to clear storage from your MacBook. And this website comes up and it has this step-by-step process of, like, going into these folders, like going deep into the MacBook where you, like, probably don't even know exists. It's all these weird random number things and all these, it's craziness. So I'm just following this step by step because I'm like, you know what, if I could, like, get rid of all this junk stuff that apparently is on my MacBook and it'll, like, give me more storage, I'm doing it. So I get into this folder that has, like, a bunch of different folders, and in these bunch of different folders there's a bunch of files with, like, weird names that are, like, just jumbles of numbers and jumbles of letters. And so I'm going folder by folder, starting to delete a bunch of stuff, and I can only delete so much at once, so it's taking forever. And I'm starting to get impatient, so I'm trying to rush and just, like, click and then go and then click and then go. And I accidentally double click on one of these files and open them. And this file that I opened, I have the chills, was a picture of me and my family at, like, Christmas years and years and years ago. The reason why this is so freaky is because not only did I not even have that MacBook when that photo was taken, but I didn't even have an iPhone. So there are a number of things going through my head. I became very, very confused as to how this happened. I started to come up with a bunch of different ways as to how this was possible. So I start clicking through all of these files to see what I was actually deleting. And all of these photos are, some are photos of me that I had sent to my friends. There are photos of my friends that they had sent to me when I had the iPhone 4. There are pictures of my cousins that they sent to me. There is a picture of my cousin and her ex-boyfriend from, like, 8th grade when I didn't even have an iPhone. There are pictures of me and my ex-boyfriend from, like, 8th grade when I didn't even have an iPhone. There are pictures from my dad's old phones on my laptop. There are pictures of just the craziest things. There are screenshots of text messages from my sister's phone that are on my laptop from, like, years and years and years ago. Now, I know this all sounds simple. I know this sounds like, oh, duh, it's just because you're iCloud. No, it's not. Me, my dad, and my sister aren't hooked up to iCloud. We don't have iCloud because I think iCloud is freaky. So I just don't like it. I don't really know how it works. I just don't like how anybody can kind of see your photos or whatever, so I don't use iCloud. Neither does my sister, neither does my dad. None of us use iCloud. 1. 2, the photos that were on my laptop were from years and years and years and years ago. It's not like they're photos that were on my iPhone 6s that, like, I had deleted off my iPhone 6s and didn't have anymore. They were photos that were on a phone that were A, never even plugged into my Mac computer to, like, somehow download onto them, and B, weren't even on my phone. Like, they're photos that my friends would send me or my cousins would send me. It was so weird. Like, photos that I never had saved, just that had been sent to me. So I know with the iPhone X coming out, there have been some conspiracy theories about how, like, iPhone and Apple or whatever, like, have your information and, like, kind of stalk you. Not stalk you, but, like, you know, they have your information and they, like, use your information to show you ads that they want you to see, or you know, they just kind of have more information than they're telling that they do. This just like, after finding those photos on my laptop, I just had no doubt in my mind that like, there is no way that they aren't like stalking us, because there's no way that anybody should have had those photos. Those photos were deleted. Like, I didn't have those photos downloaded on my Mac. I didn't even have my Mac when I had the phone that had those photos on them, if that makes sense. Like, I got my MacBook Pro when I was 16. That was in 10th grade. I got my iPhone in 9th grade. I had a BlackBerry in 8th grade, and different carriers for each of these phones. Like, not the same Verizon or AT&T, like not one phone carrier. This just makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense at all. It makes no sense that there are pictures on my laptop that were photos and screenshots on my sister's phone from 5 years ago. It doesn't make sense that there are photos from my cousins in 8th grade that were on my BlackBerry that somehow ended up on my laptop that I didn't even have when I had a BlackBerry. I don't know. I just think it's super weird and super strange. And it makes me feel like the government is watching all of us and knows every little thing about all of us. I mean, is that really a surprise? They do know every little thing about all of us, but like, it made it seem more real to me. Like, whenever people would be like, oh yeah, the government knows everything you do, I'd be like, all right, like, they don't know everything every single person does. Like, they're not watching me, they don't know what I'm doing, but this made me feel like they really are. Like, they really are. Someone is watching us, or maybe it's the Illuminati, or maybe Apple is a part of the Illuminati and they have all of our photos saved like from ever, and any photo that has ever been sent to us or that we sent to someone or that's been saved on our phones or saved on other people's phones somehow. I don't know. But I just think it was the freakiest thing. I just don't understand how photos from my dad's old phones got on my laptop. His phone has never been plugged into my laptop. Some of the photos were from a phone he had before I even had the laptop. So how are these photos on my laptop? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. And no, it has nothing to do with iCloud. So I don't even want to hear that conspiracy theory, because none of us have an iCloud. And some of the photos were photos that people sent to me. Like, not photos that I saved, just photos my friends would send to me, or like pictures, like selfies my friends would send to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And make sure you guys pretty please leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a very spooky October, and I will see you guys on Friday.